Hello and welcome to my channel. So today, as you can see, I'm going to talk about coloring or dyeing your papers. Now unfortunately I could not film the process of dyeing when I did these last week, but I'd just like to share with you all the different do's and don'ts and certain tips along the way that I learned during the process, and what I did and how I did and what I used to get these beautiful colors for my papers. So the first thing is what I used. What colors did I use? I used a combination of food coloring and fabric dyes. Okay, so the fabric dyes I used was in powdered form. Okay, and the regular food coloring, these are also powders. I used these food colors. So what I observed during the process was the fabric dyes are a lot stronger than food coloring, obviously, because they need to be strong enough to dye fabric. Yeah, so they are a lot stronger than regular food coloring, and it is always better, I think, if you can use liquid fabric colors, because fabric dyes, they tend to settle down on the tray when you are dyeing. Okay, so even though you have mixed the solution well and stirred it up nicely, they still don't get dissolved completely, and after a while they tend to settle down. And you can see, now this was the first batch I did, and this blue is completely all fabric dye. So you can see some areas that got darker colors and some areas that remained light. And the first pages in the tray, last pages, the bottommost pages, they were darker in shade. So that's what I thought. And also, sorry, okay, and another thing is, it's better if you can use a large enough tray that can soak all your papers. Okay, instead of using a small tray and trying to get your paper soaked up, it's better if you can have something bigger which helps you put the paper down flat. That's better if you can have something like that to soak your papers in. And one other thing is, it was always better if when I started with lighter shades. Okay, like I created different colors by mixing different shades. So if I started with this shade, this is like really pale orange, not even orange, it's like really pale peach or something, then you could add more colors to it and make something like this one, or alter it to something like this. So if you are able to start with lighter shades, it'll give you more time and more variety. You can play with colors and make more shades out of the base solution that you're working with, so you can get more shades of papers. Like I just used like 4 or 5 colors, but I think I have here around 10 shades of different papers. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Do not start with darker shades, so you'll have to then throw the solution and start with a fresh solution if you want to do a lighter batch. So it's better if you can start with lighter shades and then gradually move on to darker shades and alter the colors and mix the colors and play with it and see what different shades you come up with. Okay, and then alternatively, if you're not keen on soaking the papers, what you could also do is you can just use these small spray bottles that you get. You can just lay the paper flat and just spray the solution, the dye, onto the paper and leave it for a couple of minutes, then turn it around and then spray it at the back and then leave it to dry. So if you don't have something, a big tray or something to soak the paper in, you can go for a small spray bottle. Even I think that would work perfectly. And as for drying these papers, now they become really delicate and difficult to handle. So what I do and what I prefer is I tie them using a cord or a string or something. I just tie a string of some kind, maybe between windows or outside in the open air or someplace, and just dry as you would dry your laundry. You know how you would dry your clothes and just pin your clothes. The same way I just hang my papers onto the string, just hang them on the cord. If you have enough flat surface space, like if you have enough table space or something, where you can lay all your papers down, then that is preferable, of course. But if you don't have enough space, then you can just tie a string, and you can tie as many as you like, and then just hang your papers on the string. That's another idea. And another thing is the thing with food colors and fabric dyes is with tea dyeing and coffee dyeing, you need to soak the paper for at least 15 minutes, yes, for the paper to really take the color. But what I observed is with food coloring and fabric dyes, it doesn't require that much of soaking time. The paper gets good colors, it soaks up nice colors in just about 2 minutes. I'm not sure if you're able to see in the video, but this is a really beautiful pale peachy kind of a color. I don't know why it's coming out all bright in the video, but it's not this bright. It's really pale and nice peach kind of color. And I just soaked this in my this was orange red shade of food color, and I just soaked this for I think 2 minutes, 1.5 to 2 minutes, and that's it, and it gave this beautiful color. So food colors and fabric dyes take really less time to dye your paper, stain your paper. Yeah. And one other thing that you can do is you can add different objects while you're dyeing into the solution, okay, to bring more variety and give more things or add more variety to your shades. So what you can do is when you have that solution prepared with the dyes, you can add things like rusty bits, nails or pieces of iron, okay, that are rusted, okay, that you can add. You can add tea, boiled tea leaves, you can add that, or you can add highly pigmented flowers like hibiscus. That is it gives off a really good strong stain, so adding that would give a nice mixture of color. So you can try different things and play with the shades that you get, okay. And one other thing is I found this really cool. This is just a piece of cardboard. So what I did with this is when I was drying it, I dried it on, I just placed it on a basket. Okay, it had these square holes or square patterns on the basket, and that's just how it dried. It has this beautiful pattern on it. So if you want such patterns, or if you want your page, whether cardstock or normal paper, to have these different kinds of patterns while drying, what you can do is, after you have soaked your paper, as you remove it, just place the different things that you want, like maybe some kind of a lid, bottle caps or different lids, and then just leave it like that, so you get that shape and you have those patterns when they've dried. So I think that's really cool. As you can see, I think it looks really nice. Yes, so yeah. So that was something I wanted to share. Let me know how you found this video, and if you have tried dyeing your papers anytime, and what was your experience, and what are your thoughts about dyeing and using with food colors and fabric dyes, and are there any other things that you use to dye your papers? Let me know in the comments down below, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you for watching.